So I have two friends visiting, and we were looking for something that we can do in an hour before we go to Taipei City in this area, which is Xindian, which is just the south of the city. Something naturey, and I heard about a place it seems to be a temple on the side of a mountain or in a mountain. It seems a bit like nature. It's only an hour that we have to spend, and to drive out there would take us only about 10 or 15 minutes, and then it's just a 5-minute hike to get to this spot. Wow. It didn't quite work out like that for us. We kind of missed the turnoff, and I parked my car way on another place, and then we ended up walking through the forest, found a shortcut that connected us to another thing that connected us finally to the temple, which in the end took us 30 minutes. Just the hike alone was 30 minutes. The drive from Xindian MRT to the spot is about 10 or 15 minutes, but the hike then in the end took 30 minutes, and we were kind of freaking out because we were running out of time. Well worth it though, if you do the right track. If you find the spot, I'll drop a Google Maps marker of where you can go up for the shorter version. You don't have to walk all the way on this mountain track that takes 30 minutes. If you go the right way, it's probably only about a 5 or 10 minute hike up to this place, and it's really pretty. It's the side of a mountain. It's a bit of a slope that comes out. I wouldn't say a cave, but it is kind of like a cave, and then inside there's a temple set up with a main god and 4 other gods, so total 5 deities that are set up in this little spot. It's really pretty. The people who work there are really nice and friendly, and if you don't speak Chinese, it might be a bit tough, so you want to do a bit of research before you go there about temples and gods, so you know a little bit what's going on. The lady that was there gave us each 5 sticks of incense for free. We usually have to pay for that. We didn't have to pay for that. She lit them for us and everything, and then you have to go through the little ritual of what you do in a temple. If you don't know what that is, you might want to watch some other videos and see what the ritual is, introducing yourself, which we did, and you do a little prayer, and then there's a very specific system of how you place these little incense sticks into these urns. There's number 1, which would be the main god, and then there's like a number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and they have to be placed in this order. It's like a prayer. I'm going to apologize because I don't know who he is, first of all, and then I'm going to say who I am, my name, where I'm from, where I live, my address, so that you know who you are, and then you make a prayer, you ask for a good blessing on the trip, or you ask for something. First you introduce yourself, and then you ask for something, and then you're going to take the stick to you. Okay, just one of us can do it, so I'll just do it. Okay. After we did that, my friends were shooting as well, so we recorded the whole thing. I wanted like a close-up shot of my hand actually putting the stick of incense into one of the urns. So I asked one of the guys at the temple, is it okay if I pull the incense out and then record my hand like sticking it back into this urn? And he said, well, technically the god is not really going to like that, but it should be okay. Just kind of sort of apologize when you're doing it. So of course, I pull this stick out, and the hot ash of this incense fall on my finger, and I burn my finger, and I'm like, I think I kind of got slapped on the wrist by a god here. But anyway, so I got the shot of my hand pulling, this incense out, but I did get a bit burnt from that. The really beautiful thing is next to the temple, literally 5 meters next to the temple on the other side, there's this beautiful waterfall that comes down, and you can actually go behind the waterfall and stand there and have this little bit of spray onto you. And they have a makeshift little pipe that comes from the waterfall and catches this mountain water, and it fills up in a little puddle, and I just stuck my finger in there because it was really cold water. The guy said that that's actually for washing your hands. You have to scoop the water out and then wash your hands on the side. And I said, I'm not actually washing my hands. I'm just, I'm trying to relieve the pain of the burn on my finger where the god burned me because I pulled the incense out. And the guy was laughing, and, it was actually quite a fun little thing that we were talking about. So when we were done, we walked down the other side, which is a lot quicker. And then, of course, but my car wasn't there. My car was like way up the mountain. So the guy that was at the temple sort of came down at the same time as us, and he had a scooter there, and we were kind of sort of figuring out what we were going to do. And then, he just offered me a ride, and he drove me all the way up, about 5 kilometers up this mountain to where I left my car, and dropped me off. I grabbed my car, and I drove down and picked up the boys. So I think in total you want to probably put out 2 hours, I would say, for this. From Xindian MRT station, you're either going to have a cab or you can take a scooter or whatever. You drive south on that number 9, you get to that turnoff. There's a big white Buddha that you'll see at that turnoff. You turn off there, you drive up to the marker that I've dropped, park your scooter or your car there somewhere, and then you just walk up that path until you get to the point where you'll see the temple. It's hard to miss. You're probably not going to miss it. I would say definitely worth the trip, and put at least 2 hours aside to do it, not just an hour.